Now, welcome to Module 3, Nutrition Made Simple. Now, nutrition is always the part that everybody stresses over, right? Whenever I do a poll on my Instagram or Facebook saying, what do you struggle with the most? Exercise, mindset, or nutrition? Nutrition always wins. And it's funny because, yes, there is a lot to nutrition. I love nutrition. It's probably the part I'm most fascinated about. And I would love to speak to you guys for hours on end about all the science behind nutrition. But the truth is, it's not that complicated. People overcomplicate it as a justification for not achieving results, right? It's like, oh, I love to build muscle, but I just don't know how to eat. I'd love to lose weight, but I just don't know how to eat. And I always say this, so I was put you on a desert island with all the food in the world. Actually, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? So we won't put you on a desert island. If I was to put you in a dark, cold cell in prison, if I was to put you in a dark, cold prison cell with all the food in the world, and the only way that you could get out is by losing a stone. I'm not going to need to tell you how to lose a stone, right? You're going to make sure you're eating the broccoli instead of the cake, right? You're going to make sure you're eating less food than you've currently been eating. And on the flip side, if I was to tell you that you need to build a stone of muscle, otherwise you can't leave, well, what are you going to do? You're going to eat more than you're currently eating, and you're probably going to go for high protein options, right? Like your meats, as opposed to donuts and crisps. And this is why there are so many diets out there and so many supplements, and it's so easy to sell to people because people will buy anything. As long as it says this new diet will get you results a lot faster, people are going to follow it. But the problem with diets is they're not sustainable. So whether you're doing keto or Atkins or whatever it is, chances are you're not going to be able to do that for the rest of your life. And if you are, great. But we want to find a way to eat that doesn't feel like a diet. It's just simply eating. You know, I don't diet. Okay, maybe now and again if I'm going on holiday or I have a photo shoot, I might diet for a little bit, understanding the fact that it's not sustainable. But overall, I just eat. And I like to kind of stick to an 80-20 rule, which you've probably heard before, 80-20. So 80% of the time I'm eating healthy, clean, nutritious, whole foods. Now, I probably don't need to tell you what those are, but I will. Now, in the resources section, I have put a grocery list full of all the foods that are clean, healthy, and the foods that I believe you should be eating 80% of the time. What do you do the other 20% of the time? Eat what you want. Eat the cake, eat the pizza, drink your beer, live life. Is it healthy? No. The food itself is not healthy, but living a life of balance is. Now, when you are food shopping, I recommend always having a list. The problem people make, and I've done it many times, I'll go into a supermarket with no list. Chances are I'm going to buy things that I probably shouldn't be buying. So always have a list, know what you're going in to buy. And it helps to not have dangerous things in the house, right? If I've got a big pack of biscuits in the house, I'm going to eat them, right? So if I don't have them in the house, I can't eat them, or I'll save it for the weekend. So yeah, so try and stick to your list. The other thing to think about when you're shopping is the ingredients, right? A lot of people look at the protein, calories, fats. That's great to do. Look at that. And we're going to cover macronutrients in the next section. But for now, I want you to think about the ingredients of what you're buying, all right? If you look on the back and there's about 100 different ingredients, chances are it's not that good for you, especially if they're ingredients that you can't even spell or pronounce. So always look on the back of things, and the less ingredients, the better. And always remember that the first ingredient on the back of something is what ingredient is used the most. And then the one at the end is the one that's used the least amount. And also beware of sugar-free or fat-free items, because what happens is you see something that's sugar-free, you think, wow, this is great, low calorie, healthy. But to replace those sugars, they've added a ton of fat. Or vice versa, you'll see something that's fat-free, and in exchange, they replace it with a ton of sugar. So make sure you always look at the label. Now, if money isn't an issue, always try and buy organic, free range when you can. And it's not about it tasting better, which it does, it's about the health benefits. You know, you are consuming what that animal is consuming. So grass-fed beef, a free range chicken is going to be a lot healthier. Obviously, I understand that some people haven't got the money to spend on that. And if that's the case, make sure you're kind of getting lean cut meats. Most animals store their toxins in their fats. So really fatty cuts of meat, such as farmed salmon or, you know, farmed ribeye steak, it's not going to be that great for you. So if you're not going to go down the free range organic route, make sure you're buying lean cuts of meat. And if you're doing so with fruit and vegetables, make sure you really wash them before you consume them.